All right, it's recording. So, we are going to work in group reading today to where you're going to read an article with a partner about giant prehistoric insects discovered or rediscovered in a Walmart in Texas. Arkansas, that says Arkansas. So you're going to get this article and you'll read through it and we're going to take turns with pals reading. So you'll read until the timer goes off and then you'll switch. And the other person will discuss it. Now in between each reading, we'll do a discussion, but we'll just start with the reading and then I'll give you your next set of instructions then. We'll read for 5 minutes. So we'll read for 5 and then we'll discuss for 2, okay? So, these are yours for the 2 of you. These are for the 2 of you. Alright, so will you read first in your group? You read first in yours, read first in yours, and you read first in yours? Okay. Now, do you have anything to write with, to mark on it? If you don't, I have pencils if you need it, or highlighters if you'd like to get one, marking your key ideas. Remember, when we've been going through my class, we had a chart up here, but the markings that you can make, on various pieces as you write, or just things for you to take notes on as you're writing, okay? Any questions before we get started? All right, go ahead and you may begin reading.
Scientists are excited by the rediscovery of a giant laceworm. It looks like a cross between a fly and a moth. It has spotted wings. It holds the length of its body like its head. Giant laceworms have been around since the Jurassic era. This was a period of time about 150 to 200 million years ago. During this era, dinosaurs roamed. In the 1950s, scientists thought giant laceworms have disappeared from eastern North America. However, scientists have recently confirmed that one had been spotted. It was clinging to the side of a Walmart. The store is in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Many scientists are excited about this discovery. Now they have started wondering if there may be an entire population tied up. Scientists think they are living in the Ozark. The mountains are mainly in Arkansas and
Okay, so now you take turns.
It has spotted blacks. It holds the wings of its works for Penn State University.
At that time, he was a student at the University of Glasgow, and he entered and he saw the huge insect he saw, and he found it interesting, so he put it indicated and did the rest of his
Scientists are excited that this insect that disappeared far has started moving near the entire population.
said he had strong conviction that he thought it was
the causes of the appearance
this is an insect with similar features. In the late 20s,
You wanted to do two column notes that you've been doing. This time when you read it, if you wanna go back through and look for things that match up with our chart up there. Yeah. Yeah. You need something to write with? Got it?
I'm reading. I'm reading. Another case. Another case is the introduction of non-native insects such as groundfish, non-native bees, others that are not endemic and cause harm to fires, harmful environmental samples, leaves on lacewing.
There may be there's a reason that the lacewing disappeared. For many years, people have tried to stop forest fires, but some environments rely on natural fires, and lacewings depend on those environments. Yay, we're done.
Alright, so I think most of us have finished up before the timer. It was a fairly short article. My timer also froze when I turned on the writing feature of the board. So, the next step that I want us to go through is to reread it. And when we reread it this time, I want you to look for notes that you can make. Now, if you have, Miss Wilson, I don't know that she has you making these kind of notes, but in my class we have double entry journals slash 2-note, there's our timer, our 2-note columns, and on one side we put a symbol, and on the other side we put our reflection. For example, this first part, I'll do one example for you. So scientists are excited by the rediscovery of the giant lacewing. Now, some of you have different versions in this, but it is an insect. It looks like a cross between a fly and a moth. It has spotted wings, and it holds its wings over its body like a tent. So on my chart, here's what I would put. I would put the connection symbol, and over here, because I want something to talk about with my group, I want something I can share with them about what I read, I would put, well, I don't know what your house is like right now, but I have a million crane flies. Do you know what those are? They look like mosquitoes, but the second you open your door, or I open my back door, they come like swarming in my house. But they look, you probably think they're mosquitoes. They have long legs. They're everywhere in my house right now. So I can make a connection to this text. Well, it's not necessarily this bug at this time of year. They end up dying off, but this time of year, the crane flies are everywhere. So I can make a connection. So now what I want us to do is I want to do some silent 2-minute read and see if you can get any of these kind of notes done in 2 minutes, and then we're going to come back together and share. All right? So let's take 2 minutes, silently read on your own. Okay? You're going to reread what you already read with your group, but reread on your own and make at least one note that you can share with your partner when we come back together.
What was the other side?
This is symbols, so one of these symbols right here. I just picked 3. There's multiple of them if you know other ones that you want to use. It's just a star for something you find important. I just want you to be thinking about what you're reading and writing. Okay? So symbol on one side, reflection on the other, so you have something to talk about. I'm going to start a timer on my phone this time since my board is frozen. Let's make sure we're silently reading. 2 minutes starts now. Some of you are marking on the text, and that's fine too, as long as you have something to talk about.
Was it called lacewing?
together and discuss the notes or the annotations that we made. There are sentence starters on the back, the ones that we've been using for our book club. There are English and Spanish copies for you to look at, whichever one you need. Ways for you to relate. You can also use those symbols as your sentence starters, okay? So either the sentence starters on the board or the wall, one of those two, use those to guide your conversation about what you've been reading, okay? Let's have you move in with this group. He's gone, I don't know when he's coming back. And we'll do this for 2 minutes. Discuss what you've been reading and the markings that you made. Conversation starters are on the back and they're on the front. You may go.
So I was surprised because it says they're from the age of dinosaurs, and people say dinosaurs don't exist. So like, if they exist, dinosaurs exist. And dinosaurs right there like millions of ages ago, and they still survive. This is really surprising for me. You know? Yeah. I still have 3 to go.
Good. Same. You look to stay. You're not wrong there. It's like a real thing. Maybe new vocab words you noticed that you didn't know before. Maybe you can use context clues to figure those out here in this next couple seconds. Vocab words you didn't know? Yeah, it's a city. New vocab words. All right, so before we move into our second section of class for vocabulary, I want to go over what we've done, okay? Yeah. Thank you. It's on it, like the screen likes to go black. I want to go over what we've already done, okay? So what we did is first we read through it. So now we have a kind of an understanding of what we're going to talk about with our partner. We read it to each other. So you were able to listen and you were able to read. The next thing that we did was we read it on our own and we made notes using our 2-column notes with the symbols and then the connection or the reflection that we had. Then we had conversations about it. And using those sentence starters, using the notes that you made on your paper, we were able to make a better understanding for this random bug found in a Walmart, right? We made connections to our own. I would never touch a bug, / now we know about dinosaurs. We learned deeper, had a deeper understanding of the text based on the work that we did with all those different strategies. So use those as you go to your next classes, use those strategies. It's not just an ELA thing, right? You can use them in other classes as well. So we're gonna go to vocab next. So if you'll put that away, I'll get your vocabulary sheets out and we can move to the next section.